Well, hello everyone, Dan Hurd, Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I'm back here at Mount Baker Mining and Metals to do a bunch of crushing, processing, and smelting. I've got 5 different samples I have to go through today, and we're hopefully gonna find some good gold. So wish us luck, and I hope you enjoy. And here comes Harry from The Mine Operator, gonna help us out today. So we have a lot of samples to go through. We've got some placer quartz from Ladner Creek. That's a creek that is known to have great gold deposits in it. And we wanna see if any of the quartz that hangs out in the creek, and there's always lots of it, if any of it has any gold in it. We have my dream claim. I have a full bucket and I think 2 bags of material from the adit at my dream claim. We're gonna process that, see if it shows any free mill gold, and we're probably just keeping the cons from that to smelt at a later date. We also have 3 bags, I believe, from the Gold Drop mine. If you haven't seen that video, it's back on my channel. Go check out me with Grizzly Prospecting, collecting those samples. It is a silver gold mine, and we might find, I know we'll find free mill silver and gold in it. And then I've got 3 big bags from my new deposit up Apex Mountain. Assays of those, historic assays of those, show large quantities of gold and silver and copper as well. So we'll see how they run on the table. It's a big day. It's gonna be a long day. Let's see what we can do. Uh-oh, here comes the boss. Everyone look like they're working. And we've got Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals and Harry from The Mine Operator. Howdy. Let's get to work. Now, if you have not seen one of my videos here with Jason before, go and check out Jason's channel. He can explain everything about all this equipment. The basics here is that we got a jaw crusher to take the bigger rocks and make them into smaller rocks. We've got an impact mill up there that has hammers that wing around inside to take those smaller rocks and make them powder. They then fall over the shaker table. The shaker table processes the material. The crap goes away, the good stuff stays. At that point, we can look through the good stuff to see if there's free milled gold, and then we can make the decision from there if we take the good stuff and just recover the gold from that, or take it in and smelt it and get any gold that's locked up in the sulfides as well. That's the basics. If you want to know the nitty-gritty, go check out Jason's channel. And because the last load that Jason put through the machine actually had some nice gold in it, what we're gonna do before we run any of my stuff is we're gonna scour everything. And we do that by putting a bin of just garbage rock through. That stuff has nothing that is important in it. And what it does is it is gonna scrape down and scour each of the machines so that any residual ore from the previous load gets pushed out before we put our stuff in. Coming out at this point, it would be residue from his last run. So this will be the material we run first from Ladner Creek. Placer run quartz. Because the river is so loaded in gold that we wanted to just see if any of the quartz that was kicking around the river, and there's lots of it, had anything exciting in it. So this will just be a quick crush and run over the table. If we don't see any free mill gold, we'll move on. All right, the first load is just 1 bucket. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, the machine is scoured. Everything's clean. No gold in the system. Let's put some gold in the system. Here we go. First bin through the crusher.
cons are good.
Con bins are in place, yes.
And the impact mill.
And the Ladner Creek placer quart is being processed. This one, I give us about a 10% chance of seeing anything. If I see anything at all in this, I'll be very happy. But you have to test everything. It does have a smell to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's been sitting in that bucket for months with water in it, so it's probably a little slimy.
Oh, stagnant pond smell.
So we're definitely seeing a band of galena coming off and a band of iron pyrite. We can tell the difference because of the color. We're not seeing anything shiny and yellow. Well, that took about 5 minutes to run that through, and in 5 minutes we get to tell if we've got gold or not. So far, we're seeing nothing. But that's just the first of many samples today. Well, nothing visible went by. We're just gonna brush down the table, take the number ones into the pan, and do a quick swoosh. But I'm thinking there's no point in spending any more time on this ore. Luckily, it only wasted 5 minutes. Well, there we go. Ladner Creek, placer boulders, no gold. Let's move on. So these are the Ladner Creek cons. There are sulfides in it for sure, but even on a close inspection, we can't see anything that resembles gold. And considering what's in the creek, if we saw gold from these rocks, it should have been big. Okay, dream claim, hard rock mine. Let's see why they were mining up there. The dream claim goes in the impact mill. Now this ore, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what they were chasing. I know I can see the quartz vein, I can see the sulfides, I can see great big bands of pyrite, but I don't know what they found in this adit. I don't know what they thought they would find. I just don't know what this ore is about. So I just want to see what comes off in hopefully free-milled gold. And the sulfides are tracing their path nicely. You can see them pulling up away from the grooves. Still no gold coming. Gold should be a bit higher than the sulfides if it were there, but sulfides are making a nice path all the way up. And for the dream claim hard rock, it doesn't look good for free milled. Definitely sulfides. I will throw this through a pan. Lots of sulfides. Well, not lots, but it's there in quantity. I think I'll keep these cons in case in some future date we do have time to make another smelt.
Yeah.
But it's not a priority to smelt these ones today.
You want to save the number 2 as well?
Let's save the number 2.
Okay.
We'll mix it with the number 1s.
Okay.
And if we have an opportunity in the future to smelt it,
Yeah, we can smelt it.
yeah. See a bit of copper staining in there, bit of malachite, definitely something heavy and black, big chunks. So there is a haze of gold. That is like 1,000 mesh gold. It is tiny stuff and only a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of it. But that seam does have gold. Okay, dream claim, showing me another surprise. Well, dream claim has gold. Well, we knew that already, but it's got gold in multiple spots. Next, we're gonna hit the gold drop. This will show gold as well, but this should have native silver. And we have a fair bit of it. We've got 3 bags full. So a bit more volume. I believe those 2 are to crush. We already crushed 1.
These guys are all going together?
Yeah, they'll all go together. Oh, you'll want a different bucket though. Actually, what? Toss some in. Let the table start processing it. So the gold drop ore here, being mostly a silver mine, shows lots of galena through it. We will definitely see a line of galena coming down the table on this one. drop or crush. Silver and gold. There's the galena from the gold drop in the crush. That's what holds silver. And again, a perfect line of sulfides coming out of the first groove. We can see the galena and the pyrite making two separate lines. Galena being a little bit heavier than the pyrite goes to the top. When I say pyrite, I'm typically saying meaning iron pyrite. And our first visible piece of gold making its way down the table. There's another one going down. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. Right there. We are seeing pieces of gold go by now. There's one. That could be a piece of silver. Probably terrible reflection here. But we are seeing silver and gold go by. Jason, what do you see?
I see lots of galena and a little bit of what might be silver or some electrum, maybe some mix. But there's definitely flakes of it. They're coming into the number one. Some galena there. It's hard to tell. The water's a little murky at this point, but the table's still functioning the way it should.
Perfect.
Let's see what's in the pan.
So Jason was able to pull out one of the pieces of gold going by. It's probably electrum. It's probably a silver gold mix. But that's one of the pieces coming down the table.
It's interesting, it's a little flake. Yeah.
That looks like gold.
Yeah. There's quite a few going into the number one.
Looking like gold.
Nice. Alloy with silver, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
It's hard to tell with these. This makes everything look funny.
Yeah, the camera also has a hard time showing color properly on these close-ups, but yeah, I think so. All right, that would be the gold drop ore all processed through. We're gonna throw the number ones in the pan to see what we've got. Then we're gonna put the number ones and number twos to the side to smelt. Maybe not today, but at some point. Wow. Gold. Gold everywhere. We're loaded. We're still half-inch deep and it's washing out everywhere.
Oh, lots of gold.
Lots of gold and silver. We'll concentrate that one spot for a good picture, but it's throughout.
Lots of flakes. Very nice. That's a pretty good ore.
It's everywhere in there.
Cool.
The gold drop. Now I only took 4 or 5 pieces and put in the top corner there to take this shot, but you can definitely see it is a gold-silver mix, known as electrum, where the gold and silver have but alloyed together. And that's what it's known for, is it's a silver mine that also has gold. And there it is, the gold drop ore. Very excited to see this. This sample will get smelted. Well, the gold drop was exciting, but now we're on to the apex, which is the real sample for today. We have 4 bags from the apex mine. 3 of them we're gonna run together. 1 we're gonna keep separate because one of them comes from the high-grade pit, and we want that pit to be all by itself to see what's actually in it. Some of these rocks, when you break them, are just straight silver throughout. Not silver, but it's pyrites. Yeah, straight iron pyrite throughout. So we're gonna have huge volumes of sulfides going over the table here.
Cool.
Yeah. What do you think of them, though?
Throw them in the crusher.
Throw them in the crusher. Big rusted blobs. Yeah.
Cool. Ready?
We're ready. Crush them. Is just massive sulfide, big chunks of iron. Iron sulfide or iron pyrite is what it's called. Now, while the boys work back there, talk about this ore just a little bit. The Apex, the Nelson adit, has lots of historic data on it. Lots of historic data. And the 2 upper pits, the high-grade pits, show multiple assays coming from one spot, one pit. And the assays there, like 10 assays that show almost nothing, almost nothing, almost nothing, almost nothing, a huge amount, and then nothing, 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 nothing. That's what we call the nugget effect. So in the overall pit, they did a bulk sample, and of 100 tons, the average was 57 grams per ton. But in that pit, there are sections that are extremely high grade, and then sections that are nothing. And what we think is there's probably 3 mil gold in bigger pieces in certain spots. We're really hoping to see some chunks of gold come out on the table because of the nugget effect. And right off the bat, almost instantly, Jason is seeing huge amounts of iron going down and specks of gold everywhere. They're going down the table all over the place in bigger chunks. And this isn't even the high-grade pit. We kept the bag of high-grade pit separate. This is the lower grade stuff from outside the Nelson attic. And there is gold in it, 3 mil gold. Look at the iron going by. Huge amounts of iron. Oh, I'm excited. Piece of gold right there, piece of gold right there, piece of gold right there. That's a bigger piece. Is that a big chunk? Oh, oh. Hey, Jason! No, never mind. I thought I saw a piece of gold. Woohoo! I'm excited. Okay, Jason, can you lift it? We are at 95 pounds. I carried that bag 100 meters out of the attic, or out of the pit, before I could get to the quad. That was a hard lift. In the upper pit of the Nelson attic, up Apex Mountain, the Gossan, that's this rotted out sulfide, is where they got the best assay numbers from. Now there's a couple of tricky reasons behind that too. Because the Gossan has had all the iron pyrites rotted out, it doesn't weigh very much. And because assays go by how much gold per weight, these rocks are a lot lighter than the ore underground would be. But this is where it showed the best results. This particular rock is going to go off to a lab for a proper assay. The rest we'll process today. Jason is admiring the gold. These ores with heavy sulfides really make the water gray, steel gray coming out of here. There's a lot of sulfides coming down. A lot of sulfides. Luckily, the table to process is done very nicely. Jason brought up the camera again. You must see gold. Ooh, a really black lode just came out. Look at the color coming out now. Yeah. Sulfide.
This just popped out on the table. Whatever it is bashed around in the hammer mill a lot to make it to a round ball. But because it's screened inside there, anything bigger than the screen just stays inside until it bashes into a small enough ball to fall through. There might be our first nugget from Apex. Nice.
Well, I'm thinking the number ones from here are going to be fun to pan out. There's going to be a big smile of gold, but it's going to be hard to do because there's so many heavies in there. It will be smelted, so all we'll do is throw it in a pan to have a quick look. You won't get it all in one spot or anything. Quick look, and then that'll be smelted.
Ready?
You bet. Let's see what it's got. That's going to be a hard thing to pan out.
There's a lot of sulfides in there for sure.
But because this is going to be smelted, we don't really need to get it clean. We just need to get a good look.
Yeah.
So there's gold throughout, for sure, everywhere. Bigger chunks, which definitely sort of confirms my idea of the nugget effect affecting those assay results. But there's gold throughout. Let's get this stuff smelted so we can actually see how much gold it's got.
And now the good stuff. We're getting better and better and better. There's a lot of dirt in the bottom. I scraped the bottom of the pit, all the rusted out dirt, so there's just gonna be powder in the bottom.
Okay.
Gold under dirt. The color of this rusty load coming off is a lot different than the last load. The last stuff was black. This stuff is red. Unfortunately, the water is so murky we can't tell if any gold is coming through. Very happy with the results from the lower attic at Apex. I was more excited about this load from the upper pits, but we don't see any gold. We'll know when we pan. Well, it's all run through. Just let the table do its thing for a little bit. I think Jason's just shutting off the generator right now because we don't need the generator for doing the rest of the process here. This table just runs off of 110. And it's kind of sad. The sample I was most excited about, I haven't seen any gold run down the table, but that's because the water is so murky I can't see what's going on. I'm really hoping it's the best sample. But it's gonna be hard to beat that last one we just got. Okay, what I'm hoping is the most exciting one of the day. And this is the pit I think that the nugget effect has affected their assays. Well, that was strange results. The sample I was so excited about had almost nothing in it. Couple bigger pieces, a bunch of fines, but no huge nuggets like I was expecting in there. It's possible I missed the nugget when I was digging. Maybe it's a huge nugget and that's why it averaged out at 57 grams per ton. But we had a couple of odd bigger pieces down here, and then there's a haze of gold up top. Nothing like the last sample.
That haze of gold up there is like 1,000 mesh gold. There's a fair bit of it, but it's tiny stuff. And we've decided we're just gonna throw this in with the last apex load for one smelt, because there's no point in smelting this by itself at this point. And smelting takes a long time.
Well, we reduced the cons just a little bit just by panning them out, just getting off all the quartz and lighter material. And now Jason's about to mix up the flux so that we can smelt it. We're doing the apex smelt first because it's going to show us the biggest bead of gold. And if you're interested in the whole smelting process with fluxes and everything, go back and check out the videos on Jason's channel where he explains it all. Today we're just doing it.
Borax, soda ash,
And cons.
And cons. And I'll add a little bit of silica. Not a whole lot.
Because we just panned it all out?
Yep, that's right. That's right.
And Jason uses bismuth as a collector metal rather than lead because it's just a whole lot healthier for you. Too much lead fumes is not good for the system. So bismuth is much safer.
Yep. And I'm going to put it in here, crush it up into a powder, and then we can mix it in with our stuff. And as it heats up, it'll kind of rain down through the flux and collect all the gold and silver.
And if you're not familiar with the process, afterwards we take all the metals, the gold, silver, bismuth all together, do something called cupelling, which gets rid of the bismuth, leaving just the precious metals. Well, we're all ready to go. There's our charge in the crucible. It's gonna be a full one. Let's hope we don't boil over. Here we go. And now we wait. It takes about half an hour to do a smelt. Gotta let it heat up, melt, and then the chemistry happen. So we'll wait out in the fresh air. We're about to pour the apex material, but before we do, we're gonna get the gold drop smelt all set up. So as soon as we pour the apex, we can drop in the gold drop while the furnace is still nice and hot.
And here we go.
And there we are, another successful pour. Don't worry about the fact that a lot of it overflowed, that's just the flux. Any heavy metals will have sunk to the bottom of the cone mold. Flux overflowing is not a problem at all. Nice work, guys. You're supposed to let these things cool on their own, but we're impatient. Now if we let it cool long enough, it won't be liquid inside. Ooh, yay! See a cone of metal. Yeah. There's the metal we want. There's a layer of matte on top. And we now put the bismuth gold silver mix in a cupel, in a furnace. Let oxygen do its work and oxidize the bismuth. Oxidized bismuth will absorb into the cupel, leaving just the precious metals behind.
Well, let's have a look and see how the first cupel is doing. Oh, it's down to about a quarter of what it was originally. We're almost there.
Jason says the bead is done. This is the apex sample.
There we are, our bead from Apex. Our first gold recovered from the new mine site. Hopefully lots more in the future. Well, there's the bead of precious metals from Apex Mine, and it comes out too. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is, 0.086 grams. But it's the first gold I've recovered from that spot. Might not be much, but it's something.
And that was the pour of the gold drop material. Should be a silver gold mix in there. And there is the prill out of the gold drop smelt, ready to be cupelled. Unfortunately, our kiln can only take one cupel at a time because of size, so we have to wait for the last one to finish. This will contain all of our silver and gold, plus all the bismuth.
And the gold drop goes in.
Gold drop bead, which will be half silver, half gold. Probably more than half silver.
So our gold silver bead, which should be more silver than gold from the gold drop, 0.08, 0.088 of a gram, 0.9, 0.09. Oh, it's getting heavier. Let's leave it.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. I had so much fun. Please make sure, if you haven't already, check out Mine Operator on YouTube and Melt Baker Mining and Metals. Hope you're all having a great day. And until the next one, bye.